At World Class Teams, we believe your people will either make you or break you. That complacency is the enemy, and that creating a world-class team is the best way to grow your business. Are silos quietly destroying your business? Welcome to part 2 of the 6-part series. As you know, a series born out of my experience trying to get back to New Zealand to see my elderly parents. A process that's been really difficult and yet has taught me some really valuable lessons. So here's lesson number 2. Break down your silos before they break down your business. The process to access the New Zealand bubble has 4 steps. Firstly, get travel exemption from the Home Office. Secondly, book your space in New Zealand quarantine. Thirdly, book your flight. And fourthly, confirm that space in quarantine as you put in your flight. So we started the process with step 1. Gained travel exemption to be able to go from Australia to New Zealand. Oh, but the exemption was for 3 months, and we couldn't actually travel to New Zealand for 3.5 months because that was the first time we could book space in New Zealand quarantine. We booked a space in New Zealand quarantine, almost there, let's book our flights. So we booked our flights back into New Zealand quarantine site to put the flights into the drop-down menu. Imagine our surprise when Qantas didn't appear on the drop-down menu, let alone our flight number. It must be just a mistake with the website, I said to my husband. I'll call in the morning. So we called New Zealand quarantine. No, if the flight's not there in the drop-down, we don't recognise it. Yes, but we booked with Qantas, a major airline. In fact, the biggest airline coming across to New Zealand. No, if the flight's not in the drop-down, we don't recognise it. You can imagine our frustration. So we call Qantas. Yeah, we have a problem. There's a problem with New Zealand here. We can't get landing rights for any flight beyond December. To be perfectly honest, if I hadn't been so desperate to get back to see my parents at this point, we would have given up, exhausted and exasperated by a process where 3 silos didn't liaise with each other at all. So what's the lesson here for leaders? Break down your silos before they break your business. Most medium to large companies have silos. Are you certain that when a customer calls, no matter who they speak to, different people in different departments, they get the same cohesive, coherent message? Or are there sometimes variations both in the information and in the attitude? Those variations lead to confusion, to anxiety, to frustration. Many times they actually cause your customer to leave your company and go to one of your competitors. So it's critical that you find out that silo mentality is not operating for your customers. And in order to find out, it's not about asking your staff, it's about asking your customers. What's their experience? So the smart action is to choose 2 of your key customers today and contact them. How do they find speaking to different people in your business? Don't let silos break your business. So I'll see you next week for lesson 3. Lesson 3 is a lesson for life. See you then.